Good morning, and welcome to day 2 of Making Judgements. I'm your host, Miss Alexis Gardner. Let's begin. Here is what you can expect to learn today. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to 1. List parts of a story that judgments can be made on. 2. Explain how a judgment is formed. And 3. Analyze a story and make a judgment about a character's idea. Before moving on, let's take a look at what we covered in our first video. We first learned what is a judgment. Judgments are opinions or decisions that you have formed after reading, seeing, or watching something. After defining judgments, we then talked about what is needed in order to make a judgment. To make judgments, you need written proof, pictorial proof, or live proof. Throughout the remainder of the video, you were taught how to decipher between forming an opinion and making a decision. Opinions are thoughts or feelings you form in your head about what you read, hear, or watch. Decisions are actions you choose to take after reading, seeing, or watching something. Now that we've recapped, we can move forward with today's lesson. After reading a passage, we make judgments about how a character looks or feels. We also make judgments about a character's decisions, actions, or behavior. We make judgments about an event that took place in the story, and we even make judgments about what we see in the pictures of a story. Repeat this out loud. How do we form a judgment? Well, thank you so much for asking. Making judgments takes 4 easy steps. Step 1. Read. Not only is it important for you to read the passage, but it is also important to reread the passage. We miss things. When you read the passage for a second time, read to understand. Step 2. Think. Activate those brain juices and start thinking about what you've read. Think about everything that took place in the story. Step 3. Pretend. This is where you become the character. When you pretend as if you are the character, your mind begins to generate thoughts, feelings, and decisions. Step 4. Make a judgment. This is where you state your opinion or make a decision based on the events that took place in the story. Okay, guys, we have one more slide to go. But don't think that you're going to get away that easily. The next slide is for you. It's time to practice. This is where you can assess whether you understood everything that I would have covered today. All you have to do is read the passage that will appear on the screen and answer the questions that are below. Whether you write the answers on a paper or say it out loud, do it with confidence. Keep in mind everything you would have learned thus far. And don't forget about these. Make sure you're following each step. Let's begin. Today, Travis thought long and hard about what he would do for the Science Expo. He wanted to make a miniature rocket ship. He had 3 weeks to complete it and considered starting today. His friends were going to the skate park and asked him to come along. So he decided that he would go and begin working on his project for the expo the next day. Now that we've read and reread the passage, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think and pretend. And when I come back, we will be ready to answer the questions. Do you agree or disagree with Travis's idea to work on his project the next day? Use facts from the passage to tell why or why not. I am confident that you were able to answer those questions with ease. Don't forget the importance of practicing. Practice doesn't make perfect, but it sure helps content to stick. Let's go to the next slide. Well done! You've made it to the end of another Making Judgements video. What a great job you did with that passage back there. Well, it's time for me to go, and it's time for you to get to work. It was a pleasure being your host today. Continue to read to succeed. Bye.